Today we are in North Attleboro, Massachusetts, performing duct leakage tests on a home that's being renovated. This home has two systems, two heating air conditioning systems. We're going into the basement where most of the duct work for one of the systems is. It's a little dark, hopefully you can see this. This is the main supply here. That's Dave, he's going to perform the test. This is the main trunk. Dave, if you could just point out a couple of problem areas that installers, HVAC installers, should be very careful about if they want to pass these duct leakage tests.
First one, these takeoffs have a rubber gasket on them, but they still should be sealed.
So a takeoff is where something comes out of the main supply to probably supply another room, either going left or right. Is that what a takeoff is?
Yep.
So there's a piece they put on these takeoffs that has a rubber gasket on it. Isn't the rubber gasket enough?
No.
It needs to be sealed in addition to that.
Yes.
And
this only got 4 screws usually.
I see. So that takeoff is just screwed on to the main supply, and it needs to be sealed to the main supply, even though it has a gasket on it.
Yep.
Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. So that one is not sealed. So you're thinking that may be a problem for this test.
One of the problems.
Okay. What else you got?
The boot's going through the floor.
The boot going through the floor.
Tough one to see, but they're not the factory seams.
Let me see if I can get close to that. I see. So you've got a boot that's attached to the floor. Is there a rubber gasket on that?
No.
Okay.
The factory seams of the boot.
I see. The seams of the boot itself need to be sealed.
Yep.
They could be sealed, what, from the inside or the outside?
Yep.
Okay, and these are not sealed.
Right.
Okay, so that could be another problem for passing this test.
Another big one over here. I can show you on this one pretty easy. So this is a hard duct.
This is a hard duct, which means it's not flexible.
But it's got a flex duct connected to it.
It's got flex duct connected to it, which is this flexible stuff here.
Yep.
Okay, so that looks like a decent connection. What's wrong with that?
This is not sealed.
I see. It's got a zip tie on it, but that's not enough.
It's not airtight.
I see. So this plastic needs to be sealed to this pipe here that it connects to.
And actually, this seam right here would be nice to seal also. It's a factory seam, but it should still be.
I see this seam right here.
Yep.
I hope you can clearly see that. Okay, so that's not sealed either. So that could also be a problem.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
They're all basically the same thing. There's another boot that's not.
This is another boot that goes to the floor above. This one I can see a little bit better. So we've got a boot that's attached with rivets or screws, and the seams that make up that boot need to be sealed.
Yes.
And these are not, is that correct?
Right.
Okay. So we have a few problems with the system, so we're wondering if this is going to pass. How about here? Does everything look okay here?
Without tearing insulation apart, it looks good.
We know that this has probably got seams on it, correct? If we were to take this off,
Yep, the corners.
and so the metal underneath here would have seams on it,
Yes.
and that should all be sealed. Is that correct?
Yes.
And we can't tell because it's all been wrapped.
Correct.
But based on what we've seen elsewhere, do we think it's sealed?
There is some. I've seen stuff that is sealed. I've seen a lot that's not sealed though.
Okay, in this house.
Yes.
Okay, well, there's Dave. Well, we're going to run the test and see what happens. We'll let you know. We'll keep you posted on a second video. So, yeah, this is Energy Geeks, serving most of southeastern Massachusetts and all of Rhode Island. Thank you for watching video number 1.
This doesn't seem much, but I need to be. I already did the calculations. I need to be at 55.
Second video in a 2-part series, Duct Leakage Testing in North Attleboro, Massachusetts. Here our technician, Dave DeRisto, is setting up the manometer. The registers in this home have all been sealed. All the floor supply registers are sealed all the way around. Dave has set up the duct blaster fan on this return here in the floor. He is about to turn the duct blaster on using the manometer. Let's see if this duct system passes Massachusetts stringent energy codes. Dave, what number are we looking to get at as a minimum?
This has to be 55 or less
So at a minimum, that has to be 55 or less.
at 25.
I see. So you're fluctuating on the left is fluctuating right around 25, 26, and that represents pascals. And the number on the right, we want to be 55 or less. Clearly, we're not anywhere near that. It says 126, which is a measure of the amount of leakage in this duct system. Is that correct?
Yes.
So this is way off. This system is not passing.
Correct.
In the previous video, we saw how a lot of the seams were not sealed, how the boots to the floor were not sealed. Do you think that has anything to do with it?
Absolutely.
What do builders need to do? What do HVAC contractors need to do to prevent this in the future? Nobody wants to have to do their work twice.
Seal it.
Seal with mastic, foil tape.
And a lot of guys aren't used to it.
So it's a matter of educating them.
Yep.
Oh, that was interesting. Okay. Again, this system has failed. Energy Geeks serving most of, before I say that, we will talk to this HVAC contractor and educate him, and hopefully the next time we test the systems with him, he'll pass. Energy Geeks serving most of southeastern Massachusetts and all of Rhode Island. Thank you for watching. Okay, here we are, Providence, Rhode Island, getting ready to perform a duct leakage test. I just want to point out to builders and HVAC contractors some of the things that we look for, some of the things that we want to see when we come in to do a duct leakage test, because we want these things to pass. Here is a supply in the ceiling, and this is what we want to see. You see that gray stuff on there? That tells us that this particular supply has been sealed properly. You can see all the seams have been sealed. And that's good. That will bode well for passing the test. But when we go to the next one, this is something we run into all the time. We go to the next one in the same room, supply in the ceiling, and this one has not been sealed. Now we're here to perform the test today because we were called in by the HVAC contractor to do it, and this has not been sealed, so that could be a problem. As I look at the two others in the next room, same thing. This one here is sealed properly. You can see the gray in the corners on the seams. That's the mastic they used to seal it, and this one looks good. But if we go to a room here down the hall, we have the main return, this huge vent in the ceiling. It's called a return, and it's not sealed at all, and that could be a problem. You can see how air could easily escape and end up in places it's not meant to be. Here in this room here, I don't know, maybe this is a small bedroom. Again, looking at the registered sealing, this one has not been sealed. The tape you see up there is our tape. We need to do that in order to perform the test. When I say it hasn't been sealed, I'm referring to the corners here, where you see there is none of that gray mastic that we saw in the other ones. I think that this HVAC system is going to have trouble passing its test. We will educate this builder and we will educate this HVAC contractor so that when we come out here to do a test again in the future, that it'll pass. Ultimately, we want these systems to pass. Energy Geeks serving most of southeastern Massachusetts and all of Rhode Island. Thank you for watching.